Quick disclaimer, everybody. The sound quality in this episode is really off. I don't know why. Don't know how. Let's just say that I'm still a novice when it comes to software. So I apologize for it in advance. You can still understand this. It sounds like we're talking in a massive cave. So big apologies, but we'll just keep on going from here. Welcome in, everybody, to the JJ and Pug Show. Recording live. Well, recording, not live. From the Highland Communities Podcast Studios. It is April 3rd, 2024. I don't have an episode number for you, Carl, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, he asked you again? No, Carl, this is number 75.
I think actually it's number 22.
Oh, let's go.
Can you believe it?
No, I can't. What's our following like? I haven't even asked you in a while.
To be honest with you, I haven't looked. I was thinking about that today when I was on the treadmill. I was like, I want to see if there's any other funky listeners from far abroad.
Somewhere, yeah.
But no, I haven't even looked at it.
Yeah. Which
is great for our advertisers. It's great that I got that information ready to go.
Yeah, right.
I probably got to do
We'll just blurb that out. Don't air that.
I won't mention anything anymore. Well, anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed the last 2 episodes that we've done. I can tell you I have thoroughly enjoyed them.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
One, I love the boy band quiz.
We're going to bring that back. I got to get a W, bro. And I'm just saying she's not here, so I'm going to tell her, listen, I let her win.
Okay, I'll tell you this right now. We are doing. I don't like the format. I want to change the format up a little bit.
Yeah.
I want to do it. You get one, she gets one. You get one.
Oh, that might be okay.
Only because there are times where if I'm reading one, I'm like, Shalane knows this.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit unfair. I have no idea if you know this.
Well, I for the newer stuff is a lot harder. Like the Jonas Brothers and the
ones that you didn't even know.
There are certain One Direction songs. Like my daughter was like, I can't believe you didn't know that way. One Direction. I'm like, hey, like I know a few of them that they make me sing. Like, dude, they got this song. One Direction has a song. Everybody wants to steal my girl or steal my girl.
Everybody wants to steal my girl.
That's it. Yeah. And so my kids, we've been singing it since they were little and in the car and stuff. So I know that one and I know like one more, but yeah, I'm more of an older boy band person.
Hey, dude, I got to say this. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I was thoroughly impressed with your performance. I mean, dude. One, because I don't know anybody that knows boy band songs, right?
Dude.
And
I don't know if this is a compliment, but no, I'll take it.
One of the things that I love when a guy, because you know me, hey, I am unashamed of my love of bright colors.
Most of the time, you guys can't see it, but he's in like pink shorts or pink shoes or rainbow something. Like, Pug don't give no crap.
No. And
you shouldn't.
I don't. That's one of the things I love. That's like, hey, listen, you know what? Own it. If this is what you're all about, own it.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, that's what you're all about. You owned it.
I like music. I like music of all types, and it doesn't matter to me that they're a boy band. And dude, like I said, in 8th grade, for me, you had to know those songs. And every dude in 8th grade could be like, oh, I didn't like the boy bands. NSYNC sucks. But you know they were singing. God must have spent a little more time in the girl's ear when they were dancing, bro. So,
I love that. That's the second time you use that specific example.
Because that song is something else. And everybody listening knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Hey, dude. I'm not, no denigration on anybody that listens. Like I said, own it. If you're into it, own it. And don't be ashamed. But so anyway, having said that, I was still thoroughly impressed. You performed very well.
I feel like I underperformed. I let Shay have the dub. I figure something was going on. I didn't know about all this stuff. It was just my intuition. I let her have the dub. So, Shalay, I'm coming for you next time.
All right. So I got to say this. Going off of our stats, I just picked a random episode, right? It's the February 24th, part 1 episode. I don't know which episode it was. It was just says part 1. Okay. 1, this episode got a download in Australia.
Yes.
What's up? Let's do this, Australia. In Kenyon and St. Peter, Minnesota. No, that wasn't Coach episode. Because Coach is from Minnesota. So I figured it wasn't him, because that was a part 1. We did him
in one segment or one thing. I don't know. Yeah, I think we did. But I don't know. He is from Minnesota. That's kind of random.
I was going to say,
maybe he shared it and somebody else listened to one and then they listened to another.
Dude, this Australia listener, by the way, Adelaide. They're in Adelaide. This is at least the second time I've checked, and from a different episode. They're regular.
Hey, let's go.
Shout out to you. Out there in the southern hemisphere on the other side of the planet.
That is awesome.
Hey, you know what you should do? Whoever you are, listener out there in South Australia, in Adelaide, you should hit us up on Facebook, and we will send you a shirt for free.
Yeah, or Instagram, whichever one. Send us a message. Let us know where you are, and we will send you a shirt.
And like I said, we got Pagosa Springs, Colorado. I don't know what that is. And Makawao, Hawaii.
Whoa.
I'm guessing I said that right.
I think Pagosa Springs known for hot springs there. I've heard that before.
I've never heard it at all.
Yeah.
And North Platte, Nebraska. Don't know anything about that one.
Nope.
Yeah. All this.
I love it.
When I first saw
love it.
Glasgow, I thought Scotland. No, Glasgow, Montana. Still very cool.
Still cool, yeah.
Happy about all of it. So anyway, like I said, it is growing. Now that I'm looking at the stats, I'm actually pretty happy with it. It looks like it's doing all right. We get a lot of these, but obviously those are the days that it gets released. We get these big spikes. But if I wanted to get really dived into it, which I'm not going to, because I don't want to lose my steam, bro. This is too fun for me. I'm loving it too much.
No, heck no, dude. We got to keep going.
Right now, we are watching the Phoenix Suns absolutely destroy the Cleveland Cavaliers.
It's still the second quarter. Yeah, and that's bad.
Did you watch the Pelicans game the other night?
No, but I saw that Booker went for 52.
37 in the first half.
Eesh.
He was on fire. And, he only scored another, 15 in the second half? But who cares? I mean, he absolutely destroys the Pelicans. As I say that, he just drains a pull-up three. We're up 24 right now with 6 to go in the second. It doesn't matter. And the reason I say this, it doesn't matter until the second half. That's when the Suns show their true colors, and that they are so freaking streaky. This team specifically is the inspiration for a draft that I want to do later. And when we do it, you guys will know what it is. Because these guys right here are the exact reason why I decided I want to do it. But the stretch run is happening. This is the most important stretch for the Suns season. And, I don't know if you know this, this is by far the hardest stretch of schedule anybody in the NBA has to face.
Oh, really?
Our final 10 games roll against current playoff teams. And we right now, I want to say this morning, we were sitting in 7th place in the West.
I saw 6 or 7 recently.
Yeah, so I think we're in 7th place right now, but we're only one game back of both the Hornets. And dude, how does he make that shot? That was an impossible.
That's KD, bro. That's
Kevin Durant, man.
I mean, he's still got it. I just don't know if he's got it. No, I don't know. We'll see.
I think the a lot of the I'm trying to think the criticism, I guess, would be the word. I wasn't going to say hate, but I think probably criticism is a better word. That LeBron James gets is even for Kevin Durant. It's the same type of thing. Neither one of them are killers. Both of them are generational talents with generational skill. For sure. And both of them are physical freaks in different ways.
Oh,
right?
Completely different ways.
Completely different ways. You've never seen a guy with a handle and the ability to move and shoot like Kevin Durant at his length.
He's 7 foot, 7'1".
I think he's officially listed as 6'10", but if you ever see him standing next to a 7-footer,
it's pretty close.
Yeah, he's 7 feet tall. But anyway, so he's this crazy, tall, long guy with an unbelievable skill. But the thing that he isn't is he's not a killer.
No.
Right? And that's also the same criticism that LeBron James gets. He's not a killer.
Because he's not relentless.
Bro, you want to say that? He's about to turn 40. He just dropped 40.
I listen, he's a physical specimen. There's no doubt that he can't play.
We need to give him more credit than physical
Listen,
specimen.
okay, he is great basketball player. Hands down, one of the greatest to ever play. He is not the GOAT, but he will go down as one of the people you will always talk about. Because, I mean, for crying out loud, you know where you want to go with this, right?
I'm just laughing.
Because it does
not matter.
It doesn't matter.
We'll have this conversation.
Every time. Listen, Jordan, I want to know if that thing I sent you about Jordan come back and playing is true.
It's not.
It's April Fool's joke.
Absolutely.
But still, do you think he could hang for 2 minutes, 3 minutes? You think he's just too old?
I think he's just too old.
Probably.
I mean, he's 61. 61 years old.
I bet you he could cross LeBron right now.
I will tell you this right now. If he would have come back in when he was 45, I think he still had it. I think he still had it at 45. But, there comes a point where it's like, dude, I mean, we joke about it now. We're barely mid-30s, right? We're on that.
We've crested the mid bar, bro.
I kind of range the mid-30s as 33 to 37. That's the range.
That's roughly mid, right? Yeah, I guess that. But I turned 38 in a week and a half.
Oh! You're over it, bro. You're late 30s.
Stop. I know. Don't say that.
So you're about there. But the point I'm trying to make is we are not, because I'll be 38 this year, so we're not crazy old. No. But what we are is you turn a certain way with your neck, a little unexpectedly.
Oh, for sure.
Guess what?
Well, if you had the kind of money and treatment these guys have, you could play like that.
But the point I'm trying to make is, at some point, this is just what happens to your body.
Oh, yeah, you just got to stop.
That's just going to happen.
And really, how soon you stop is dependent on how much quality of life you want later. Because what's LeBron, for all we know, because he's playing this kind of, I guess, level this far into his age, I mean, he could look like Ronnie Coleman when he gets 50.
Yeah.
With needing assistance walking because his knees are just like, bro, used everything you got. Like, I can't help you, or that, and that's a possibility.
And by that time, we'll be, cyborgs. So,
yeah, that's true. He's older than we are.
Barely.
Still older.
No, technically, yes.
We won't be cyborgs.
Dude, but as I've gotten older, it really is one of those things that really it's still so freaking impressive to me. And I say LeBron James, the same can be said for Chris Paul.
I was going to say, yeah, Chris Paul.
Anybody that is still playing that was drafted when I was in high school.
Dude, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady playing quarterback, and that goes actually to my brother-in-law's criticism of Tom Brady. It's not to say that he's not amazing. His point is the game has changed so much
that he could play. He could play
drop tackle. How about that? How are you supposed to play defense now?
Listen, you can't hit him high, you can't hit him low.
And you can't hit him in the midsection anymore. You can't grab him in the hip.
It's becoming flag football. It's a joke, dude. Like
when I heard that, I honestly was just like, I honestly don't know how to play football then. I don't know how, because that is form tackling. You grab the guy around the hips where he can't escape.
Well,
try and catch him high, you can't get it.
Listen, there have been some injuries as of late that have kind of brought it to spotlight. But if you think about the totality of how many tackles actually happen in a game or in a season with a group, the whole team, and only have that kind of that percentage, it's terrible. There's a dumb rule. And they've been you know what's funny is they were arguing another rule that they wanted to get rid of, like the players. Oh, the ones where they just take them out at the knees, right? Yeah. That's the one the players want to get rid of, not the hip drop.
Yeah.
But they won't get rid of the one where you can just fly in at 100 miles an hour and take dudes' knees out.
And that, dude, I don't know. I honestly don't understand. I know that their whole goal is to be able to make football safe. I keep referencing Ron Wolfley because a lot of things he says speak to my soul. And it's not that I'm that hardcore old school guy like he is, a guy that played. What was that? In the 80s, and I'm not that guy. I think I'm probably a lot more progressive than he is in that regard. But there are certain things where it's like, listen, football is dangerous. That is one of the reasons why we play football.
Yeah.
I mean, I know for me, I have a friend of mine. His name was Ben. He used to always say that I'm not an athlete. I'm a football player. And it kind of made me laugh. And his whole point was saying is like, I don't need to have a crazy skill to play football. You just need to be a big, strong brute, right? Yeah. Because he was an offensive, defensive lineman. That's all he was. He's like, I can't play basketball. I'm not playing baseball.
He's not. Yeah, he does. He has a skill set and he's strong and he can use. Oh, yeah. Right, I would agree.
And so in Ron Wolfley, that's kind of his same thing. He's a fullback. I'm not. I don't have the fine motor skills of a golfer, right? I'm not going to be able to, hit a curveball from a guy throwing a ball, from 92 feet or whatever it is.
But I can move a 300-pound man up the way.
Yes, but I can take out a dude on a full sprint down, on the kickoff. But I mean, so it's things like that. Football was never meant to be safe. So to try and make it safe is it's kind of almost, I'm not going to say oxymoron because football isn't, but it is one of those things where I'm like, you're starting to make it truly impossible for defenders to play defense.
Well, it started with the quarterback position when it was like, oh, you can't hit him anymore. And it's like, then put him in a red jersey and make him untouchable at that point, right? Like, it's fine, whatever. But then you got these guys on defense. Like, how do you... Why? Like, what's your motivation to like crush somebody's soul? You don't have it anymore because they're like, no, I got to be careful. Like, I'm all for like, I do agree with the head shots or the blind sides. Like the guy's going over the middle and you're going high on him. Like that stuff makes sense, right? That's just you head hunting. The days of Sean Taylor and what's that guy from the Eagles? Brian Dawkins,
the preacher,
dude. Those guys, those are gone.
I didn't even know you were going to say Brian Dawkins, but you said going over the middle. My immediate thought was Brian Dawkins.
Absolutely. Him and Sean Taylor. Sean Taylor would kill anybody. He didn't care. He killed a punter in an all-star game. In a Pro Bowl, he killed a punter.
If you want to have a good time, look up Brian Dawkins over the middle hits. Guys, Brian Dawkins was one of the most violent safeties I recall.
Ed Reed.
I don't remember him being a violent safety. I remember him being a great ball hawk.
Ball hawk. They were just that. It was that. Okay, take out Ed Reed.
Yeah. Cam Chancellor.
Okay, yes.
Middle linebacker playing safety.
Bro, that was like Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis didn't have to have a very big start, but buddy, he would crush your soul. They can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Who's a Ray Lewis right now? Who's a Brian Urlacher right now? We have good linebackers. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I can't name a single good
That's what I'm saying. Linebacker. Like you're I mean, we have solid ones, but we don't have you don't have a Ray Lewis who's coming out smashing his head on his own helmet as he's doing his thing, right? Yeah, I know, but I mean, Ray Lewis is kind of a
Patrick Queen. The Steelers just signed him up. Isn't it funny? We go, but this was a conversation we had a long time ago about. It just seems like certain organizations just always have a solid
something, yeah.
the Ravens always have a great middle linebacker. So they had Patrick Queen, and then they went and traded for the guy from the Bears. And the Bears gave him up for Roquan. Oh gosh, dang it, I can't remember his name. Really good. I think his number 0. Roquan. I can't remember. I'll look it up. Or it's going to hit me in the middle of the night. Yeah, I'm going to wake up like, I knew it. But then there's the same thing with Patrick Queen. The Steelers got him. Because guess what? The Steelers always have solid middle linebacker play. They just always do. But you're right. When I think of middle linebackers, those are the only 2 guys I can think of. Roquan Smith. That's what it was. Yeah. He played in Georgia. There's only and if I really had to sit back and think about every single roster, I could probably come up with a few more. But back in the day, you just named a couple. Brian Urlacher was, he was a decade worth of great middle linebacker play. You knew when you're playing the Bears, watch out for him.
Watch out for 54.
Watch out, dude. And the same thing would be said for Ray Lewis. But here's a name, he didn't play very long. But when he played, he was scary good. Remember Luke Kuechly?
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Panthers. Yeah.
That guy was so good.
Dude, have you seen I don't know, just recently, I don't know if I sent it to you, but they showed him, it was like his greatest hits or his greatest highlights of just him being crazy and completely off of his rocker with the things he would do or the things he would say. Dude, he didn't care. He was just crazy. He was just a crazy middle linebacker, dude. The guy you want. He's a Bobby Boucher, bro. He just didn't care, dude. Not any care in the world.
That's fantastic. I do remember it, but I remember when he had to retire because of concussions.
What was the guy for the Patriots on their Super Bowl team for a long time? He was an announcer.
Bruschi.
Yeah, Teddy Bruschi. Yeah.
I was going to say Buddy.
Teddy Bruschi. Yeah, he was good.
U of A alum, baby.
Sean Lee out of Penn State was really good for the Cowboys. He just couldn't. He was just injury prone, and even with Van Der Esch was the same way.
Yes, those 2 guys are both sad stories. Guys that just came, and it wasn't like they had small injuries. No. They were big injuries. And Van Der Esch specifically, dude. Once he got that first neck injury, he just could never come back from it. No. I actually read I read that story when you told me about how he basically medically retired.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that's such a bummer. Anytime you hear about a guy that retires early, and it's not because he just didn't want to play anymore.
It's not an Aaron Donald story. It's because he physically, his body's like, I'm choosing life.
And I want to be able to move when I'm 40. 40. Yeah. Right? This guy's 27, 28 years old.
If that, yeah.
Oh, man, that's just sad. It's just having to hear things like that. And as, I watch Bull dribble from the corner, Suns are still laying it on him, dude. Still laying it on. And it's I really hope
this is going to be a 150-point game, dude. If they keep going, why would you let up?
I'm telling you, it's the second half. That's where I start to really look at my team. Just I don't know what's going on with these guys. I don't know how to explain the Phoenix Suns to anybody because they are so inconsistent. They have all of the offensive talent you could ever hope for a team to have, but somehow in the fourth quarter they just suck. And even that pass. It worked out, but what kind of dumb pass was that?
Well, dude, there's a lot of players on the Suns that I don't even know. They're just a bunch of
they're a bunch of guys.
They're just a bunch of average Joes.
Yeah, it's definitely true. But the thing is that
that's a bad way to put it because they're professional athletes. But you know what I'm saying? They're not.
They're a guy.
They're a guy. They're they're just a guy where you're just. You got Devin Booker, you've got your 3, and then you've got kind of everybody else who's just filling in the role.
But it's like I was telling you when we think about the Heat, the big 3 of the Heat. You obviously have Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, but who could you name after that?
Right.
I could name more, but it's because I'm a fan of.
Ray Allen's the only other person that most people would get if they thought about it because of that shot.
They could probably get that.
Birdman, I didn't realize was even on the team until you said it. Then it makes sense because I know he did play there, so I get that. I just didn't put the time in. Do you remember Shane
Battier?
Yeah, I remember Shane Battier
was on that team. Yeah. Do you remember Mike Miller?
No.
Okay, he played in Memphis for a while, but he was on the team too. So there's lots of guys like that where there were guys, but they were injury prone at the end of their careers. It's kind of the similar thing with the Suns. Eric Gordon has been a really good player in the league for a long time. He's on a league minimum deal right now, and he joined the Suns because he wanted to compete for a championship. And he probably could have got a lot more somewhere else. And then, but anyway, I didn't know how we got. It's just because I watched that 23. That's what we got on that. Okay. Couple things. I actually have a list of things I wanted to talk about. We just went almost 20 minutes. Just crap.
That's fine.
I love that. That's one of the great things about this. Go. First off, have you thought about, read about, heard about the Shohei Ohtani gambling scandal?
Yes. It has to do with his agent and him or whatever.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
Tax evasion. or his agent was really doing shady stuff. I mean, that's really all it comes down to, right? Like,
there is no other possibility.
There can't be. So for his sake,
I say it's not tax evasion so much. It could very possibly be that he was making these bets, which would be super illegal.
Yeah.
And not banned for life like Pete Rose level baseball, but it would be. Yeah,
I thought that was like they were going to call him.
But yeah, it is not like Pete Rose banned for life in baseball because Pete Rose was betting on baseball, but he was making illegal bets in the state. Whatever. So it's one of two things, like you were saying. Keep going.
Okay, so that's what my thought is. But I want to hope for the guy's sake because, you know, he comes from, where's he from? China, Japan. Right? So I would hope that he comes over here and what happened is somebody took advantage of a guy that's in a league and it's not his fault. I'm hoping they're able to prove that for the sake of baseball. That guy's he's been a showstopper since he came into the league. I don't even follow baseball that well, and I know who he is because he's a stud. He's a pitcher that hits dingers.
Dude, yes, he is. It is truly hard to explain to somebody the unicorn. That's a term that gets floated way too often. Shohei Ohtani is an absolute unicorn. This guy's 6'4", 6'5". First off, he's Japanese, 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah,
that in itself,
anomaly.
Yeah,
unicorn.
That itself was an anomaly. Because
yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to be racist or stereotypical, but that's the truth. When it comes to, you know, there's not very many enormous Asians in the world. That's just facts, right? When Yao Ming came to the NBA, I was like,
they were like, holy crap.
This guy's as tall as his entire country combined. But anyway, so Shohei Ohtani, first off, physically already a unicorn from where he's from. And then add to the fact that this guy is a center fielder and a starting pitcher who has the chance to be the greatest of his country and greatest of all time in both. He throws a fastball over 100 miles an hour with consistency.
Which is crazy.
That is crazy. And he can hit dingers. It's not like do you remember back in the day, there was this old commercial when Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa and the home run race, and it had Tom Glavine.
That was such a good time for baseball. Was. Gosh, even I enjoyed that.
Bring
it back, man.
So there was this commercial anyway with Mike, with Greg Maddux and Tom Glavine, where they would watch Mark McGwire hit these home runs in batting practice, and they were like, you know, chicks dig the long ball. So it shows the two pitchers just doing a whole bunch of, you know, curls and batting practice and stuff, and then they start finally hitting home runs in batting practice, right? And they get Jennifer Locklear. No. What was her name?
Heather Locklear.
Heather Locklear on the sidelines going, ooh, who are those guys, right? And they totally like, oh yeah, chicks dig the long ball. And then they turn around and Mark McGwire's right behind them again. They're like, oh. So it's a funny commercial. It's all over Instagram and stuff like that. But the point is they would hit a home run. They may hit 2 or 3 home runs, and they were considered elite power hitting pitchers. Shohei Ohtani can hit 60 to 70 home runs.
That's crazy.
He was on pace to break the home run record last year. And you look at the guy, he doesn't look like Barry Bonds did when he hit the record, or Mark McGwire when he set the record. He just looks like a really built guy, right?
He doesn't look overly built.
No, exactly, not overly built. So, I mean, that's the kind of ability this guy has. And if he was doing something so stupid as illegally sports betting, it would destroy.
He'd be gone. He'd be done.
And not just that, like, he is owed $700 million by the Dodgers. Committed $700 million to him.
Why would you bet though? That's the thing. Like, logically, if you've got that kind of money, why are you betting? Like on sports or whatever he's not allowed to do, right?
Yeah.
Like, of all the things that you can bet on.
Man.
But like, why? Like, I'm not saying don't bet because you're allowed to bet. Hell, go to Vegas, spend $100 million. I don't care. But not on whatever it is he was betting on that got him in trouble.
What's illegal is he was using the bookie. California's sports betting is not legal. So that, the bookie, who is what the illegal part was. And so anyway, but to still rack up a $4.5 million tab with a bookie, some of
that's what I'm saying. And you've got all this money. Why?
Why? And one of the things that that's talked about right now is the kind of the fishy part of the story about if he really says that he had no idea and he was really stolen. One of the questions that they ask is like, what bookie out there is going to give a guy a $4.5 million credit line to place bets? Somebody making $250,000, $400,000 a year.
They're not.
You're not.
I know.
A $4.5 million credit line, unless that guy is using Shohei Ohtani as his bank.
Yeah.
And Shohei's got it. I mean, it's possible he didn't know. I'm not.
It's possible, I know, and that's what you're hoping for.
It is
for the
what I'm
sports' sake, for the culture of Japan, and all the stuff that this guy has brought all to them.
Yeah.
You hope that he's not dumb enough.
As
to
a
do this.
Diamondbacks fan, I hope he is guilty of fan flags. I hope I never have to see him. I say that honestly. I would love to see him because I think it would be amazing to watch him play. I just want to continue to sweep him in the playoffs.
Okay, so I just saw a commercial because we're going to scroll for a minute. Tell me you watched the Iowa
I did.
LSU game.
No, I
Oh my gosh, dude.
I gotta say, I actually am disappointed that I didn't see it because I heard it was amazing.
Listen, girls basketball is its own pace of game, right? It's just different. You can't compare the two.
Yeah.
That game was cinematic, bro. It was unreal. Caitlin Clark, I think's her name. Bro, she put on a clinic, man. She had, I think, 21 points in the first half, and then she comes out and hits 4 of 5 threes in the second half immediately.
Yeah, she's the Steph Curry.
Dude, from 27 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Like she is the Steph Curry of the going to be WNBA. Like that's where she'll be. I'm
Actually,
like, oh
there's
man.
a lot of talk about her not going to the WNBA yet.
She gonna stick around another year?
Yeah, because she makes a lot of money in endorsements in college. A lot of money. And she's going to take a pay cut going to the WNBA.
Yeah.
Not that she can't continue those endorsements, but the WNBA just doesn't have the revenue to pay its players.
Not even.
No,
Nothing.
Not even close. And that's a different argument. I think it's a dumb argument because truly for me, it's like, dude, the NBA has been subsidizing the WNBA since its inception. So to get mad about it and say that women deserve to be paid more, it's like, well, then the league needs to make more. That's a simple mathematical fact. If you want to be able to get paid more, you need to be able to make more. And the way that sports work is
Put
that
people
way.
in the stands.
Do you remember that whole? There was a whole. I think it was a legal thing that U.S. women's soccer took to the U.S. Soccer Federation about how they deserve to be paid more.
They tried to be paid like them, equal pay. It was all an equality thing. Which you want equal. Did you see? Do you remember the stats they pulled on this stuff with equality, with the percentage that actually, based on what the revenue is for women's sports, they actually get paid more than men do?
Way more percentage of revenue.
Yeah.
I will say this though, as a consumer of soccer or U.S. national soccer, I watch a lot more U.S. women's soccer than I do U.S. men's.
Oh, I agree. It's because they're not a bunch of flopping little fish on the ground.
But they're, I mean, I hate to be a front runner. They're freaking good.
Yeah.
And the U.S. men's is not.
Is not because they're playing in a world that plays soccer everywhere outside of America.
Exactly. And that's one of the things about U.S. women's soccer. A lot of the countries they're going against are new to soccer. They don't have the infrastructure that we do in this country.
Yep.
And so, I mean, that's just a matter of fact. Like you said, as far as a percentage of revenue, U.S. women's soccer makes way more as a percentage.
And that's why I think that argument died and went away, and you haven't heard about it, right? Because when you put the numbers up, you're like, how much more do you want to make? You guys are actually making, 3 times the percentage that the men are.
Now, the women did get a raise. They did get a raise when they were fighting for equality. I don't remember what the number was. I knew they got one. But it's still one of those things where it's like, listen, WNBA, it'd be great if it worked out. It'd be awesome. But right now, it's not. And maybe it will when Caitlin Clark and players like that who continue to raise the profile of women's basketball.
Did you see the chick from LSU after the game, though? Okay, you know who I'm talking about, right? The one chick that did the whole.
I can't believe I forgot her name.
Bro.
She's got the biggest fake lashes in the world.
Okay, and you talk
Angel
about a
Reese.
pity party, dude. She tried to pull out all the crap with like making, oh, you don't know what I've been through this year. And da, 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 da. I'm like, bro, everybody's got their own Everest, dude. Like, what do you want? You just want the attention now. Like, you want to try to take the attention away from Iowa because Iowa wiped the floor with you. You guys beat them last year by a little bit. They brought the mop and they swept the floor, bro. It was bad. It was bad. But anyway, that was a sidebar. Sorry, I just saw it on there. I was wondering if you saw that, but it was.
I didn't see it. And I heard
UConn and Iowa was going to be a good game.
Maybe. I will say this: it's Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark, two of the biggest, names in college sports right now. Because men's basketball, nobody knows who anybody is. Nobody knows who anybody is until now.
Well,
right? Because you have
everybody knows who the Purdue kid is because he's 7'4".
Yeah, but nobody knows who he is because he has no personality.
Well, that's true. He'll probably be a great college player and not a good pro player.
Yeah,
like, that's what's going to happen.
That's the reason why he stayed in. And we talked about it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
he stayed in college because he wasn't going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And so anyway, that's just a sad fact. So yeah, but back to Shohei Ohtani, it's potentially earth shaking for baseball. If he really was involved and if he really wasn't just robbed. Because if his interpreter, who is, labeled as closer than a brother to him, literally around him all the time, and I mean his absolute everything, if he really did steal $4.5 million from Shohei without Shohei knowing about it, it's totally possible. That I don't have a problem with believing. And the reason why I know is because a lot of these professional athletes, tons of people have access to their money because they have people managing their money. Right?
Well, yeah, and if you get a check, there's $50 million in your bank account, $4 million disappears. Like if you're not, watching and you've been buying stuff, you're like, oh, I must have spent that. I don't even know.
Yeah. And I mean, you're also talking about a guy who just signed a $700 million playing contract. That is, did you hear about the way he's being paid?
No.
So he is, for the 10 years, $700 million contract, for the 10 years, he's only going to be paid $20 million.
Once he hits that 10-year.
Then it's a whatever that percentage is, $680 million deferred contract. So they're not going to even have to pay him $680 million of it until after he's done on that original contract, and then they'll start making payments to him.
Why would you do that?
He did that so that their monthly or their yearly budget could be used towards bringing in
the
other
cap space, stuff like that. Then
his thing was like, hey, if this is what it means to bring build a contender here, and if I have to defer some of my money because he's getting paid ridiculous amounts in endorsements because he is the biggest and most known.
He's the face of baseball in Japan.
Everywhere.
And especially in Japan.
Especially in Japan. In Japan is a baseball crazy nation. That is, I actually think it's the most popular sport in their nation is baseball. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that's
and
strange.
It's similar with the Dominican Republic. You'd think it would be soccer. I remember talking to my brother who lives there. He's like, nobody plays soccer here. Nobody plays soccer. They only play baseball.
That's strange.
Yeah, it's huge there. Same thing with Cuba, a lot of those Latin nations in the Caribbean, stuff like that. But anyway, Shohei could be a massive thing. There's a lot of talk right now about the Cardinals trading their 4 overall pick. Okay. Jason.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is not good enough for them.
Okay. The myth that picking up more picks is better for your team is just that. It is a myth. And I'm going to give you an example. Okay? Back in the day, Cardinals had a chance to draft Terrell Suggs. He was here, played at ASU.
The hometown kid.
From Chandler, right? Was it Hamilton or Chandler?
Hamilton, I think. No, I think he was actually Chandler High.
Yeah.
Anyway, Chandler kid.
Yeah. Unbelievable local athlete. Okay? Goes to ASU, sets sack records that will never be touched. They will never be touched.
Yeah.
Right?
Not the way ASU plays now.
No. I'm talking about nationally.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he had a season in which he got 25 sacks.
That's crazy.
25 sacks. Dude, unbelievable. Like I said, set sack records that will never be touched in college football. Okay? The Cardinals could have drafted him. What do? They trade back to get 2 picks that end up being Calvin Pace and Brian Johnson.
2 people nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Calvin Pace, bust. Here in Arizona. Went to the Jets, had a solid career, right? Nobody knows who Brian Johnson is because he did nothing. He was an absolute bust. But guess what Terrell Suggs went on and did? Had a fantastic Hall of Fame level career in Baltimore.
Yeah. And
we
he
passed.
was unreal.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Great player.
Yep.
We passed on him because, you know what we can do? We can fill 2 holes with trade this and get a couple. No. And then
do you think it's going to happen? Let's just talk about the draft. Let's just get it. I mean, I can see your face right now. Do you think they will actually let go of the number 4 pick? And what do they get in return that's worth it?
Okay.
Who would you take later?
There's a lot of talk about taking the left tackle. Is it the left tackle out of Notre Dame? There's 2 tackles that are specifically talked about being very, very great tackles. I normally would have no problem at all with saying we're going to take offensive linemen with high draft picks because that's how you build a team. You build a team with a solid line.
Yeah,
that's defense and offensive line. That's how you win in football, right? Obviously, you have to have a competent quarterback, but that is the way you win. And a great example of that would be the 49ers. I mean, I love Brock Purdy, but their offensive line is great. Their left tackle is unreal. The guy that they got from was the Redskins, now the Commanders, and why I can't remember his name. He's amazing. And he's older, too. He's like 34, and he's still absolutely destroying people.
Oh, my gosh. What's his name?
You know, that matter.
Anyway, yeah.
And they have a great defensive line. But a lot of those defensive linemen are high draft picks that they, invested in. So I understand that. But one of the things that I'll bring it back when I say, do you remember who Denny Green was?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
They are who we thought they were.
They are who we thought we were.
And we let them off the hook.
Yes. It's funny. I don't remember Denny Green so much as the coach of the Cardinals as much as I remember as the coach of the Vikings. Remember that team with Chris Carter, Randy Moss,
Dante Culpepper.
No, one of the things was Randall.
Or was it Prev? Oh, that's way far back.
Randall. There was a specific team that went 15-1 in the regular season. And it was the 98 season, and I remember that well because that was the first time the Cardinals had made the playoffs in my lifetime, right? They made the playoffs. It was a big deal. We beat the Cowboys that year.
Of course you did. That's all right. The Cowboys haven't beat the Cardinals in like 8 games right now, so I don't even know.
Such a weird.
They're the Achilles heel.
Yeah. I don't have no idea how. But anyway, and then we just got absolutely waxed by that 15-1 regular season Vikings team that had Randall Cunningham, Chris Carter, and Randy Moss. Anyway. That's cool. That's how I remember Danny Green. Then he became the coach of the Cardinals. The thing that Danny Green did, it doesn't get enough credit for, is when it came to the draft, he absolutely hit it out of the park. One, he took Larry Fitzgerald with the number 3 overall pick.
And didn't trade that.
And
arguably, Harrison Jr. could be.
Yes.
You need that kind of you don't have Larry anymore.
No, we don't. We don't have anybody. We don't even have a.
You got rid of Hopkins. You just dealt away
gone.
Christian Kirk. You got Hollywood gone. Who do you have?
And the 2 of those guys, Christian Kirk and Hollywood, they just left the free agency, right?
Well,
they didn't get anything in return.
They didn't get anything. Yeah.
Yeah, and the things that we got back for DeAndre Hopkins was nothing. We got trash back for him. And honestly, we didn't get anything. We cut him. We just straight cut him. And he went and signed a 1-year deal with the Titans. And did he have an amazing season? No, but he is a great receiver. He was. Who knows what he's going to be? The point I'm trying to make is we have nobody on the roster that can catch passes outside of the tight end out of Colorado State, who I'm blanking on his name right now, and number 85.
Oh, the new guy.
Yeah, his second year. He had a great year.
Oh my gosh, dude, I can't remember. I knew you were talking. McBride.
Yeah. Trey McBride. He had a great second year season. Yeah. He was really good. He showed a lot of progress, but he said, "Hey, okay, you need a receiver. You need a number 1. We don't have Patrick Mahomes here."
That's why I don't feel like they're going to do it. Okay. Bidwell, if you're listening, don't do it.
Monty Ossenport, if you're listening, don't do it. Just take the guy because you did this last year, and guess what? Will Anderson turned out to be the defensive rookie of the year. Okay, and we got a competent tackle. Maybe he'll be great. I don't know. But we got a competent tackle out of it. Okay?
Yeah.
And not only that, but you were supposed to be able to get a great first-round pick. That first-round pick that you got this year is number 27. Okay? Get a center or a guard with that pick. I would fully endorse that. That's a great option there. Number 4 overall, you've got a generational talent at receiver. Okay?
With a bloodline.
With a Hall of Fame father.
Come on.
Here's a crazy thing, dude. His Hall of Fame father was 6 foot, maybe. Marvin Harrison Jr. is 6'4",
dude.
And he's got all of the same route running skills that Marvin Harrison had. I really am getting scared about it.
You guys listening can't see his face, but this is he is stressed, and I can understand. I'm not a Cardinal fan enough to care as much as you do, but I get it. I totally get it, man. It's something the Cardinals would do, and as a fan of nothing but disappointment since 2009, I get it. I get it. It's just. I just hope they're not that dumb.
I just think that there's a myth out there that when you get more picks, that's the better option. But no, the better option is to pick the right guy.
The better option is to pick the higher seed because they are good.
Yes.
That's why they're there.
Well, I will say this: is it possible
for
early guys to flame out? Totally happens.
Right?
Draft.
Is it possible to get a Tom Brady is not the quarterback position, but anywhere later? Absolutely. There's always those things. But take the guarantee or the odds are in your favor with a 4 pick than they are going with hey, we'll trade you and we'll take the 16th and take your 40th pick, and then what? And then you got 2 no-name people that you're going to forget about in 2 years.
And guess what? Those 2 guys might turn out. They might be good. But listen to this. One of the things that they're talking about, remember how good A.J. Green was his year? You know how good he was in Cincinnati with nobody, trash throwing in the ball. He was so good. Same thing with Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald was so good with nobody throwing the ball. When he finally got a competent quarterback, Kurt Warner, Carson Palmer, he was Hall of Fame. That's what he's going to get to the Hall of Fame with. And you need to have that comfort for a quarterback. And especially with Kyler Murray, dude, he's a little guy. He needs someone he knows he can throw the ball to. That's when he was special. When he had DeAndre Hopkins to throw the ball to, that's when he was special.
Well,
and it's just
the draft's in what, 20 days?
I think so. Yeah. It's about that. I can say I'm just getting very nervous that they're gonna chase that myth that more picks is better. More picks is not always better. Getting the right guy is better. Getting the guy that's going to make a difference and be a true difference maker on a team And I'll understand there's the argument out there that how much of a difference can a wide receiver make on your team when you don't have a great quarterback throwing them. I get it. I understand that. But you got to take
but you take a great receiver and he makes a good quarterback better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He gives him a chance. Like especially if Kyler and him put the work in and they practice and they read each other and all of a sudden now Kyler knows, dude, I just got to put the ball in this area.
Yeah.
And he will be there. Like I trust that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really hope they don't blow that.
I'd be so excited. I wanted to give some run to how insane the UConn run of 30-0 against Illinois was. Guys, they went and scored 30 points while their opponent scored nothing in a basketball game. That's unreal.
That's crazy. How do you not make it? Like, how do you not get a layup?
Yes. How do you not get a free throw? Like,
anything.
You don't drive to the basket.
A foul.
Yes.
Yeah.
I understand how you can't score a single point and you allow your opponent to go on a 30-0 run. That's video game stuff. That's playing NBA 2K easy.
On easy.
And turning all the sliders down so that
it's a Saturday night for Eric.
It's every morning, baby. But I just wanted to say that that's probably one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. As the Cavaliers just go on 7-0 run against the Suns.
I know. But that's 7 points, what you do. 10 points, it happens all the time.
Yeah, 12 even.
Yeah, but 30?
30. That's
30.
Incredible. That's just incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to make sure that I gave UConn some flowers on that one because
they deserve it.
Yeah, we're hitting Final Four this weekend.
Oh,
what you got, man?
I hope NC State beats Purdue just because of the story. I don't really have a dog in the fight.
I don't care.
I mean, Purdue, the kids that I can't remember the guy's name. The big 40, I think 30, number 30. NC State's big guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. Big guy playing against a 7'4" dude. If he stays out of foul trouble, that's going to get interesting. I just want to see number 11. Like, NC State's going to the Final Four for the first time since 1983. Yeah. Like, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's been 30-something, almost 40 years. It's been 40 years.
Yeah, dude.
It's crazy. 41 years.
I just think the thing that's most incredible to me is the run that they've been on.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they had to win the conference tournament to get into the NCAA tournament. And then, once they got in, they're an 11 seed. They're an 11 seed all the way here in the Final Four. That's an amazing one. It's an amazing story.
Well, and they're expecting, this is supposed to be, so it's at the University of Phoenix Stadium.
Yep.
And
State Farm Stadium,
sorry. And it's now, like, they've got floor seats. I think they're expecting about 70 to 75,000 people.
So cool.
That is 10,000 more than the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because you're able to pack them in, dude.
You could just stack them into the field. Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, I think the only thing, if you look at the history of that building and what kind of people have been at with concerts, I think the only thing that may beat that still is the Garth Brooks concert. True story.
Real?
True story. Yeah.
Dude, I just watched some clips of Garth Brooks' Facebook posts. He's a weird dude.
Dude, I don't care about his politics. I don't care about his Walmart stuff. I don't care about anything. His music's amazing.
No, you're never going to find me say anything negative about the fact that he's
but I'm sure he's a super weird dude.
He's a weird dude.
He disappeared for 20 years, bro. Nobody knew where he was at because he raised a family. Cool, but you don't do that and not get weird.
Yeah, he's a weird dude. But, most people are weird.
Yeah, but he puts on a heck of a concert, though, man.
Okay, I want to talk about 2 trades that have happened in the NFL. First one, the Hassan Reddick trade. We talked about that one. Yeah. I just wanted to talk about this.
Jets, Jets.
I just wanted to quickly say that this is who Hassan Reddick has become, okay? His first 3 years in Arizona, we took this guy who was a defensive end in college, a very good defensive end in college. We took him the 13th overall pick in the first round, right? This guy was supposed to be great. We tried to move him to middle linebacker.
Was it middle? I thought he played out. Was he not an outside linebacker on the edge?
Tried to move him to the middle.
That was a dumb mistake. Yeah, it's a mistake. Yeah,
tried to transition to a middle linebacker. So the first 3 years in the NFL, he has a rookie season at 2.5 sacks, second season at 4 sacks, third season with 1 sack. Now the thing about the NFL with your first round draft pick is at the end of the third season, you have to decide whether or not you're going to pick up their 5th-year option on that rookie deal contract, which means you can get him for a 5th year, because rookie contracts are 4. You can get him for a 5th year at a number that's an average of something. I can't remember what it is, but it's a pretty high number, so it's kind of a risky deal. But you typically do it for a rookie because you want to have that 5th year to evaluate and then extend afterwards, okay? So the first 3 years, he's shown no ability. Like, why would I extend this guy? He's not doing anything. He's got a total, 7.5 sacks in 3 years. I would do that. And I'm just talking about sacks. He looks terrible as a middle linebacker.
But he's just not. Yeah, he's just not a middle linebacker.
4th year, guess what they do? They put him on the edge. 4th year, 12 and a half sacks.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Guess what? You put a guy in his natural position. Now I'll say this: he's an undersized edge player. He is not large. He's 6'1", would you say, about 230?
Yeah, he's definitely not. I don't think he's 230.
You don't think he's that big?
No,
Okay.
I mean maybe. I mean they may put him down as that, but I mean I would probably guess 215, 220. He's not. He's a lean, but he's thick, but he's just.
Yeah. But the point is, what I'm trying to say,
he's not big. Yeah. Oh no, he's not a Micah Parsons.
No, he's got the build you'd think of a middle linebacker. And he's very fast, inside on. So I think that's probably the reasons why they figured, hey, we can put him here, he can make the transition. But truly, what it was is mentally he just couldn't. Okay. And now that 7-0 run, by the way, now 14-3 run.
I know.
It's just, like I said, the second half is when we'll see what the Suns are. And we're seeing it. It's incredible. But anyway, so after he has that final year in the Cardinals, we don't re-sign him. He goes on, signs a 1-year deal with the Carolina Panthers. In Carolina, he has 11 sacks. As an edge player, his natural position, go figure. Goes and signs I want to say it's a 4-year contract, a really good 4-year contract with the Philadelphia Eagles. He has 16 sacks in the first year of that deal, 11 sacks in the next year. So what I'm trying to say is very productive player.
Yeah.
Very productive player. And then they just got traded for a conditional third, which could be a second.
Based on performance.
If he gets 10 sacks and 67.5%.
And he asked for that trade.
He did.
Yeah.
So something happened there, Philly. But okay, so we're saying a 2nd-round pick for a 10-sack guy. That's the value of that.
Which is pretty good.
I think that is crazy good.
Yeah.
Which makes me angry. At my team, we have no pass rush. None. And
I actually didn't like that they got rid of him.
Oh,
I just think when you get a guy who's playing and he's committed himself, he likes the Valley, like he's here, and
you finally figured out he's supposed to be an edge.
Yeah, and then you give him up, and you're just like, what are you doing?
That's one of those moves that it's hard to deal with when your GM drafted a guy, moved him to a position he's not naturally there. Then when you put him in his natural position, blows up, and then you let him walk.
Yeah.
And you get nothing in return. Nothing. Okay?
I mean, and I get it. When you put him at middle linebacker, he was average.
He was pretty bad, actually.
Pretty bad.
He didn't get
right.
on the field line.
And then you go with this, and it's like, okay.
Here's another trade that happened. Okay.
Oh, I know where you're going.
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
Got traded to the Texans.
Yeah, I know. Just not the damn Cowboys. It's some
Not
bull
Dallas.
crap. Dude, I'm so tired.
He is a Houston Texan. Dude, that Houston Texan team is looking pretty fierce.
Bro, I think I'm going to pull a Kara this year and just, like, she was a Bengals fan last year.
Oh, she was?
Yeah, so.
What a terrible move.
Well, no, she let Alexa pick it for her because she was like, I'm not rooting for the Cardinals this year. Like, I'm done.
Yeah,
and I'm going full in. So we did randomizing thing. I think we did it like 3 or 4 times, whatever it was. And the first one was the Bengals. Dude, if she would have done it one more time, it was the Cowboys.
Oh, for real?
Oh, I would have loved it. But so she bought jerseys and she went full into this Bengal fan thing. And I think I'm going to do that this year.
I'm
tired of being a Cowboy fan.
You're not going to.
I know, but I'm tired of disappointment.
I say this every year. Every year I'm like, I freaking hate sports. But guess where I'm at?
Yeah.
Just as much of a fan as ever.
I'm going to get you to play fantasy, though, and enjoy it.
I'm not going to enjoy it. I'll probably do it. And it'd be kind of a fun thing to have for the podcast, another update. Dude, I hate fantasy sports.
Yeah, I know, but like it's different. Again, it surprises me because you know so much about these things.
But see, that's the problem. Knowing doesn't help you at all in fantasy sports. That's why I hate it. It's so stupid. Most of it's luck.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things where I'm like, yeah, I know this. But guess what? I have no idea which player is going to go off today because it's such a random thing. Most people don't know, but you have to pound the chest and say they did.
Yeah, they didn't know. No, it's a luck.
So that's one of the reasons why I hate it. And also, the thing I don't like most about it is that I find myself often not rooting for my team, but rooting for my fantasy team.
You are. That's why, and that to me is what makes the NFL fun to watch, though, is because if your team is not on TV,
you got something to root for.
You're just kind of like whatever. But dude, that Red Zone channel, I pay for that only, and I love that it flips around because I'm like, okay, all the fun stuff, and then you catch your team playing every now and then.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just surprises me you don't like it.
So Stephon Diggs gets traded to the Houston Texans. Houston Texans are looking pretty good right now, and guess what? They had to give to get Stephon Diggs, who is he is by all accounts a top wide receiver in the NFL. Very, very productive player.
3rd round pick.
No. Okay.
5th round pick.
They gave a second, not their own second, Minnesota Vikings second, in 2025
So nothing this year.
Nothing this year. And not only do they get Stephon Diggs, they also get a 2024 6th-round pick. So in this draft, they get a 6th-round pick from the Bills, and they get a Bills 5th-rounder next year. So they get 2 draft picks and Stephon Diggs in return for a 2nd-round pick that's not even their pick.
So they got him for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he is a certifiable number 1. He is a true difference maker. He makes every quarterback he plays with better. And now he's got C.J. Stroud, reigning rookie of the year. Could not have ever guessed he was going to be the player he is. And that 13-3 run is now a 19-6 run because Katie just hit a 3-pointer as I was about to read 19-3. Now only at 14 points. Like I said, the second half. That's when we see what this is.
It's all right. They'll be fine.
They hit better because they cannot afford to lose. They cannot. They have to. They have to win. I just can't emphasize that enough. We have the hardest schedule left. We're the 7th in the league. We have to. We're such a crazy, inconsistent team. We have to win. All right. So those are 2 trades that I think has really, to me, diminished the value of good players in the NFL. Because think about it. Let's say the Cardinals do trade their number 4 overall pick. Okay. If we trade number 4 overall pick, what do you think is the windfall you get for that? 2 firsts?
You better.
2 firsts and maybe a 3rd?
Maybe.
Okay. That's for a player you have no idea whether or not he's actually going to play. Yeah. Because you know that 4th guy is they're probably trading up for J.J. McCarthy. Yeah. You know, the quarterback from Michigan, who has never, I don't ever remember anybody saying this guy's a 1st-round pick.
I saw him play in the championship game, and you didn't hear much about it. Harbaugh will tell you all the great stories about it, of course, as a good head coach should.
As
but
he should. He should pump
I don't.
this guy.
Yeah, but I'm like, I don't.
I'll also say this: Harbaugh, he looks to benefit directly if a team were traded with the Suns for the 4th overall pick.
To the Suns?
He's got
the Suns.
Oh, sorry, yes, the Cardinals. As I'm watching this, because the thing is, if Harbaugh gets somebody to trade up to number 4 to take J.J. McCarthy, guess who's sitting at number 5? Chargers, John Harbaugh.
And guess who he's going to take? Yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr. You better believe he's not.
Yeah, and Herbert's going to be throwing him the ball.
Yeah. And you better believe that'll be like a dream come true for Herbert. Because he also just lost his 2 top receivers, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen.
Oh, that's right. Keenan Allen's playing for the Bears.
He's going to the Bears.
Yeah.
And then Mike Williams, I think, still free agent hanging out.
That's strange. He's good.
So maybe he comes back. I don't know. So I'm always amazed at the value that we place on possible draft picks. Guys that might be good.
Yeah.
No idea whether or not they will be or not.
And
yet
sense.
the value we put on players that are currently great in the NFL.
And I'd like to
good.
And I like to think that they know more than we do.
I know.
So at least because how are 2 guys sitting in a room right now watching a game, talking on a podcast, telling how dumb this is? It's that obvious. This is dumb for you to get rid of the 4th overall pick in the sense of you need a receiver. You need him. The Cardinals need him. And you're going to be like, nah, we can pick up somebody else, later. Maybe we'll get somebody from somewhere else. It'll be just as fine. No, why? Play the odds.
Okay, I'll say this. Listen, you want to trade a 2nd-round pick? Or how about this? I'll trade you a 3rd-round pick, Buffalo. I don't want any picks in return. I'll just take Stephon Diggs. Then I'm fine with trading back from number 4 because we've got a legitimate number 1 wide receiver. Now, Stephon Diggs could be a bit of a prima donna. He did seem like he had a little bit of that in him in Buffalo, where there's always a little bit of, are they getting along? Does he want to be there? Blah, blah. There's always going to be.
Right.
He requested the trade out of Minnesota after getting, so there might be a little bit of that in him. But name one great receiver, not named Larry Fitzgerald or Jerry Rice. That wasn't that way.
Yeah.
They're all a little bit of a prima donna. I don't know. I just kind of accept that as a fact.
Well, that's kind of their role.
Yeah, that's kind of right. So
what they do.
It's kind of the truth.
No.
But I'm always amazed that we put so much value on guys that we've never seen play in the league versus guys that do and produce. I don't know. I just think it's kind of crazy.
Stupid.
I would never make that trade.
No, they needed to stay.
Not to mention Buffalo. Not only that, but did they trade to Stephon Diggs? You know what the cap hit, the dead money cap hit they have to take this year?
No.
It's over $31 million for that trade. So not only do they get nothing in return, they're going to not be able to sign. They have a dead money cap of $31 million because of the extension they signed him to and then pass him off.
Why would you give him up?
I don't know. I really don't know why I'd give up. Other than the one thing I have heard is that the Bills are in a pretty bit of a cap crunch. So for them, they're probably looking and saying, we just get cap reset. We're going to take all the hits this year, We've got Josh Allen.
But you've got a good team that was. I mean, you've been knocking on the door to the dance, pretty consistently, and now you're gonna be like, let's rebuild.
I think that probably. I mean, there's certain points with NFL teams you do have to do that. You do have to just say, you know what, we went all in, we tried it, we spent a bunch of money, and because the thing is a lot of these contracts in the NFL they have so much delayed guaranteed money that is later on in their contract that. Right now, we can sign you. We can pay you now. We'll just defer the money later. But what that means is we're going to cut you later.
Yeah.
Or we're going to renegotiate because we're going to be over the cap at some point.
Yeah.
We need to do that. And I think that's the case with the Bills. And I also look at the Bills and say they think they probably got their great quarterback. And if we can, I don't remember if they kept Gabriel Davis or not, but they're probably hoping that they can fill in with somebody else, maybe a little less money. But I don't know. I'm not a Bills fan, so I'm not tightly watching every transaction they make in a cap situation like I do my own teams. But I do know that they've been in a cap crunch because they've cut a lot of their veteran players that were making good money. And, if you can get something back like you did for Stephon
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it works out
it's
for
not
them.
going to work out for them. I mean, shoot, it wasn't working out for them when they had all these great players.
No.
So, I don't know. All right, so for all of you who hung around through all the sports talk, I appreciate it. I didn't have anything else sports-wise to say. Those are the things that I have on my list that I wanted to talk about. I'm probably not ready to go into the Diamondbacks talk yet.
No, that's fine. There's a thing I want to talk about. It is sports, but it's a different type of sports because it's reality TV.
Oh, yes, that's on my list. I forgot about. I was getting ready to move on. Go.
So, everybody listening, there was a show back in early 2000s?
I was just saying,
maybe mid 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Called The Pros versus Joes.
It was so awesome.
And this is where every crap talking middle-aged guy or late 20s guy that thought he could play in any sport, it didn't matter, they had all of them,
talk trash on this guy.
He sucks. Oh, I could take him. And what they would do is they would line them up in that discipline and then let the pros wipe the floor with them.
Clean.
And I saw a thing that it was just a reel that I sent you of it like coming, they need to bring this show back, and I'm like, yes, they do, because they used, who was the running back? Ricky Williams. And this dude was talking all kinds of crap about he gonna wrap him up, and Ricky Williams trucks him, dude.
He couldn't do anything against Ricky Williams. He couldn't stop him at all. And the guy didn't look like, he wasn't a schlub.
No, they never were schlubs. They were somewhat like average athletic guys.
Yeah, the pros versus the average Joe.
Yep, that's all it was. Yeah.
One of the reasons why I espouse the need for it to come back so strongly is especially because we live in an era of a bunch of keyboard tough guys.
Oh, yes,
where
dude.
everybody constantly is talking crap on these guys. And I admit that I say this guy sucks or whatever like that, but I always do with the caveat knowing he is a million times better than me.
Oh,
he would destroy me in any athletic endeavor. I'm only saying that because that's not the profession I chose, right?
Yeah.
Specifically, a guy named Zach Davies was a pitcher for the Diamondbacks. I freaking hated him. Every single time he was pitching, like, chalk it up, it's loss. The guy sucks. He sucks. Zach Davies, you suck. So bad. So happy you're
But you wouldn't say you could take him deep.
No freaking way. He would strike me out every single time.
Right.
Every single time.
And see, that's the difference between you and these guys on the show.
Yeah.
Because they were like, I can't remember there was a middle linebacker who was crazy. He's an older guy.
Yeah.
And this guy was like, oh, I'm going to run him over. Blah, blah. And dude, they just beat this dude up, dude. I love it.
That reminds me of that. Did you remember that commercial? It was a Super Bowl commercial. It was the Office linebacker.
Oh, yeah. Terry Crews.
Yeah, it was. I don't remember who it was, but it was. His name was Terry though. It was
Terry Crews.
No, it wasn't Terry Crews.
Terry Tate.
Terry Tate. Yes,
Terry Tate. Yeah, that's
oh my gosh, that was so fun. But it's just like that.
Yeah.
Where he would just absolutely blow.
And they did it with basketball, and guys would think they could take somebody one-on-one.
Or baseball.
And baseball. I'm like, dude, no, you can't. Like, and don't get me wrong. Like, I would love to go I would not want to go on a show, but I would love to, like, let's see what happens. Like, it'd be cool. But I'm also not an average size, so I won't have any other advantage other than maybe it won't hurt as bad, But it would just be fun. Like, it would be cool. I understand, but I would never put myself on a show and talk crap to these dudes because this is what they've done their entire lives. And here you are as an average Joe who's stocking shelves at Walmart, and you're like, I could play in the NFL.
Yeah. I would love to see this come back. And so much of the reason why is because we, as a viewing public, never truly understand the immense skill the last guy on the bench of every team has.
Well, and especially like you talk about football, right? Like people don't realize like if you sit in the speed of the game, these guys are moving at a 4.5 speed and they weigh 250. Like a Derrick Henry. Can you imagine Derrick Henry going on this average pro versus Joe thing?
No.
He would kill somebody.
Yeah, somebody would die.
Like you're never going to take him out. Like it doesn't matter what you do. You're just you go low, he's going to go over you. You do high, it doesn't matter.
Think about a guy that's 6'4", 250 pounds, strong as a freaking ox, and runs a 4.5 40.
To give you a better idea, just go to Home Depot, go to the refrigerator section, and just stand in front of that thing and imagine it running. I don't know, a 4.5 40.
Yeah, try and tackle it.
Try to tackle. Yeah, that's pretty much how that's going to feel.
Go run as fast as you can, straight into a
dude, that is crazy. I mean, they got guys in the combine that weigh over 300 pounds that are running a 4.6 40.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it's
unbelievable the sizes of these guys.
Yeah. So when you talk about being a pro and like, I could do it. Listen, I get it, but no, you couldn't.
No, you couldn't.
You just.
And that's why I wanted to come back.
So do I. It would be so great, dude.
Do you know who Brian Scalabrine is?
I know the name.
So he was the, when I say the 15th guy on a 14-person team, like he's basically what he was for the Boston Celtics back in the day when they won the championship with Kevin Garnett
and Pierce, Paul Pierce.
Durant. Oh my gosh!
Just stop.
Yes,
we knew who you were talking about. Kevin Garnett.
Yes, right on. Anyway, he was a, like I said, bench guy on that team, and on that team he filled no role. Like you never saw him on the court unless it was mop up time, right? And people would talk trash about him all the time about he was just this garbage player. He's so terrible. He's no good. And one time he just basically went. If you can look him up on YouTube and see it, but dude, he went and just picked the best guy, the best athlete at local gyms, right? LA Fitness here, whatever it is, the best athlete that was playing pickup ball, and said, "I'll take you one-on-one." And they would talk so much trash, and he would wipe the floor with them. Absolutely destroy them.
People don't understand how good people. No. I mean, and what's crazy is, have you seen the N1 tour?
Yes,
Mr. The Professor.
Yes,
he drives around in his bus and is like, they talk crap and he hides behind him and they show up and they try to take him and he's like, dude, you don't even stand a chance. Like, it doesn't matter how good you are in a park. Dude, it doesn't matter.
N1 was so cool back in the day.
Such a cool show.
It was such a cool show, right?
Such a good one.
It was like street Harlem Globetrotters.
Oh yeah,
it was so cool.
It was awesome.
Massive shorts.
Crazy
dance. What a different time.
I remember buying N1 shoes at the Walmart, bro, because they were light. I was like, man, they're $40. They rip. You just get a new pair.
The only basketball shoes I could afford.
Exactly. Like, until Shaq started his own brand.
I was going to say the Shaq brand. The Shaq brand. But no, it is crazy. Like when I think about it, because like I'll say again, Zach Davies, you suck. But guess what? I know that you would destroy me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to swing the ball. I wouldn't be able to foul a pitch off you. You're going to strike me out every time. I'm going to miss everything. But you suck. All right. And
but pro versus pro, you suck.
Yeah. But dude, I want to bring back Pros versus Joe. So
it'd be cool.
It was such an entertaining show. So cool. That one, I also love that one in sports science.
Sports science was awesome.
It really like that one would bring it home for me about the difference in professional athletes versus regular. But obviously, Pros versus Joe's.
That would be cool. A Pros versus Joe's sports science.
Oh yeah,
like doing all the same motions as like they did with Larry Fitzgerald and or not Larry Fitzgerald. Was it him? It was who did they use for the receiver where they showed his range?
It was Larry.
Was it Larry?
Catch radius.
Yeah, the catch radius. Yes, yeah, and then you've got some guy that's like, I could be a receiver, bro. Your catch radius is 4 yards shorter.
You couldn't catch 2 passes off a jugs machine, dude.
Dude. And that's the thing too. Like if you think about the quarterbacks from back then, like Brett Favre, right? He was known for breaking fingers.
Yeah,
like he
Dan
could.
Marino.
Yeah, throw the ball, and you're like, dude, the combine's a great when they chuck those balls at those guys, and they when they're running down the line and they got to catch it real quick. And they get hit in the face. You're like, oh, dude, that hurt so bad.
You know what would also be fun if we didn't do like a full on Pros versus Joe's like contact, but like Pros versus Joe's combine. Go out and run 40, see what you can do against this guy.
Oh, people would have a heart attack.
Any offensive lineman you want to go against, race this guy.
Yeah, or have them try to block you. Just little stuff like that. Just little blocking drills. Cool.
The Atlanta Braves have this like mid-inning thing that they do call "Can you beat the freeze?" You heard of that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They let them go. They run.
They give them this massive head start. So it's basically foul pole to foul pole, right? And you run the whole perimeter of the outfield. And you get any guy from wherever gives them this huge head start. let them try and beat the Freeze, Mr. Freeze. This guy is dressed up like Mr. Freeze from The Incredibles, right? He only lost one time. Okay.
And it's supposed to happen because they all start celebrating way too soon, and he's still running.
Oh, yeah, but they also just totally underestimate how fast an actual sprinter is. And also you underestimate how long the distance. You gotta go foul.
Yeah, you gotta slow down at the beginning.
Oh yeah, dude. Because like if you ever try to do a 200 meter or 400 meter sprint.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude.
Not at my old age now. No, I'm good.
Dude,
100 meters is good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
But dude, I remember back in the day because I was a 4x1 and 100. That was my track. I remember when I had to go against the guys that did the 200 and 400. I'm like, I was gassed.
Dude, they tried to get me to do the 400 at night. I'm like, no, I'm not stupid.
No
Sorry.
Oh yeah, Pros versus Joes. Bring it
great.
back.
Yes, please.
Bring it back. In fact, you know what? JJ and Punk Show would love to be a part of that.
Yeah, we'll announce it.
We will sit there. We will volunteer our services.
Yeah,
to be a part of the Pros versus Joes.
To an extent, though. I mean, if it blows up, we're gonna need something. We're gonna need something.
But you know what? They'll say the first season. First season, we volunteer. After that, we'll have to negotiate with the contracts and such like that. Okay. Couple things I wanted to bring up. I got a new little segment that I wanted to do when it comes to. I would say I don't know if I'm going to say weekly or monthly, or whatever, but it's something I want to do regularly. So I'm going to go hit the sounder right now.
The tradition of Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it.
I love Arthur.
Yeah, he's so great. Jerry Silver's great, but for real. I got some grievances I got to air.
Good. Okay? I'm good. I want to hear this.
Okay. One, Disney, you are a bunch of thieves.
Amongst other things, for sure.
The prices that you charge us.
For everything.
It
makes me so mad.
Outside of Disney Plus, it's actually probably the more affordable.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, outside of that.
You guys absolutely gouge the people that care about your stuff the most.
Terrible.
And what's worse is you addict us to your stuff early age. So we grow up with it. And then when we have to have it because we are huge fans, and then we see the price of it, we're going to have to declare bankruptcy because we can't afford you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Disney's terrible.
Uh-oh. We got a little girl that broke into the studio.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. That kind of threw me off a little bit. But basically, the whole reason for this is this. I was walking through the mall.
What mall was this?
Superstition.
That's still a mall.
It's a mall.
I love that place, bro. Is Wetzel's Presto still there? That's how I get my freshman 30.
That's how it is. I love how the freshman 15 turned into the freshman 30.
Bro, at Wetzel's, I sold phones, and dude, I'll tell you, you make friends with the people in the mall when you work there, and at the end of the night, they didn't want to, they threw them away or you went and ate them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, come on over.
Awesome, dude.
I'm 18. Let's have at it.
Eat them all.
I can go to my hips for sure.
Saw a Powerline t-shirt.
Oh, who knows? I know.
Movie.
Oh, I can sing the songs right now.
Yeah,
every one of them.
I took a picture of it, sent it to you. You're like, you got to buy it. I want it. I'm like, it's $35.
I don't want it anymore.
Yeah. No, check out a t-shirt. I feel like I'm robbing people selling a t-shirt that we do for $20. I honestly feel like t-shirts should never be more than $10.
Yeah.
That's not the world we live in anymore, so I recognize that. But it hurts me that I have to sell it for $20. $35?
It's crazy. And that shirt, dude, would be awesome to wear. I would wear it all over.
It would be super cool.
Because people would get it.
Yes, they totally would get it.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the t-shirt. I'm talking about how much it costs to go to Disneyland. Disney World. Take your
I
family
hate it.
there.
Listen, I have 3 daughters. I've been to Disneyland enough times. I hate that place. I don't like anything about it because of the money.
Yes.
Listen, it's cool. I understand you put a lot of work into it, and the Star Wars thing is actually really cool. I don't even like Star Wars. All that stuff's really nice, but you're asking me to pay you $200 to walk on your property for the day per person.
And I still have to pay for food.
And I still have to pay for food.
At exorbitant pricing.
And now you're letting homeless people live there.
Dude.
I'm like, what is going on?
I hate it about that because it's one of those things where for me it's like, okay, you know what? I'm probably going to be able to afford to take my family once.
Yep.
Maybe twice, right? But I'm not going to do it until I know that they're going to remember it.
That's why we waited.
Okay, and my daughter's 3 years old. It's going to be some years.
Yeah, you have to because it's what's the point? I know people that go all the time and the young kids, and I'm like,
I don't understand. I'm like, how can you afford that?
Because you're going, yeah. And then when you get there, and this is no knock on the people there, but when you get there, you see some of the people, and you're like, how much credit card debt did you go into to take your kids here? Like, that's what you're forcing people into.
Not just that, you are forcing people into taking legitimate loans from their credit union to go on vacation.
It's
That's the
crazy.
thing that gets advertised this time of year.
Yeah.
Great rates on vacation loans. I'm like, vacation loans? We're selling vacation loans? What? What
any
kind
way
of
they
country are
can.
we in?
It's out of control.
Like, I understand that we can't afford a lot of things, but when you're taking a loan to go on vacation, guess what? Go camping.
Yeah.
Like, if you need to get away, you need to go camping because you should not be taking out a loan to take your family to Disneyland. Oh my gosh, dude. All Drew Eubanks does is bat the ball. He should have been playing volleyball. I don't know what he's doing.
Squirrel.
Yeah.
All
Drew
right.
Eubanks did again what he always does.
So
That is,
Disney sucks. I think we've clarified that.
can't stand that. Drives me freaking
course.
nuts. Also, the other one was when you don't have a shopping cart, put it away.
Dude, this is a big deal for me. I hate it. Like, nothing says laziness at all. Like, leaving your shopping cart right next to your car on the curb there.
Yeah.
I'm
Or,
like, dude.
Especially when you're right next to the return thing is like 2 spots away.
Like, it just shows what kind of character you have.
Yes. just
Like,
put
it's
it away.
crazy.
Put it away. Don't be a piece of crap and make somebody else do it for you later.
Right. It's like you're that lazy. It's the same people that park. Oh, you want to air grievances? It's the same damn people that park in handicap spots that aren't handicap.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. You know, and we know, like, you know, the Paces, I don't know if they listen or not, but they actually genuinely need the handicap thing for one of their children. My mom needed it. Like, dude, I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I just can't. Well, I'm just running in real quick. And then the idiots that leave their cars running while they're in the handicap spot. I feel like that should be a free pass to steal them. I'm just saying. Think about it. You're dumb enough to do that, and then you leave it running, and then I'm like, oh, that's a free car for me. I don't care. Like, you should be able to at least drive it away and park it somewhere else.
I was going to say that's 100% where I can
And no charges.
sit in it. I'm going to move it to another spot. Exactly. No charge.
Yep.
I didn't do anything wrong here. I actually did society a favor.
Yeah.
Because if somebody actually needs this,
No jury's going to find me guilty.
And they
They're
should.
going to praise me.
there's no chance.
Yeah.
I've got a few more experiences I want to give you. When I go shopping at a big store that we know is one of the richest stores, richest corporations in the world, Walmart, don't ask me to make a donation to the Children's Hospital that you, as a corporation, could personally fund for my entire existence and my children's existence. Stop asking us
They
to fund
always
these
do.
things.
They always do.
Hate it.
And people do it. That's the problem.
I know. And the thing is, you're guilting me into it. You're making me feel like a bad person that I didn't donate to St. Jude's, to the Phoenix Children's Hospital. Listen, I do that on my own. I don't need to be doing that in the Walmart checkout line, after I pay for your ridiculously priced food already.
Yeah,
Like,
the checkout line that you made me do my own bagging in.
Yes.
Because you don't stop enough people now.
Yeah, because you want to maximize your profits even more.
You know.
Dude, I'm so sick and tired of being asked for donations at places like that. Like, listen, I make my own charitable donations. I do.
I'm good.
Yeah, you don't need to be adding this and again, guilting me into it. Like, hey, go through the drive-thru, kind of trust us if they're going to ask you.
Would you like to round up?
Yes, you want to donate to Phoenix Children's Hospital? And when I say no,
They
I'm a
spit
horrible
in your
person.
food.
No, I don't want to donate to the 6 Coast. No, I actually do directly to them because I know how much of it they're going to get. Oh, dude, I can't stand it. That's one of my other grievances. And my last grievance that I show file right here is Google. Why'd you guys get rid of your Google podcasts?
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, gone
Really?
away. No longer. They don't run them anymore. Now it's all done through YouTube Music, which guess what? It is a completely inferior podcast broadcast. Like,
Really?
it's just not that great.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll figure it out, but it's one of those things like you already have it figured out. All you gotta do is just if you don't want to hire the staff to manage Google Podcasts, which is probably done by AI anyway, then just merge the exact same platform. Guys, what are we doing here? Freaking sucks, man. Now who do you listen to podcasts through?
Spotify.
Spotify? I'm probably gonna
Or
do that
Apple
wrong.
Podcasts, but most of the time it's Spotify because it's just easy.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is Google Podcasts was easy, and now I gotta find a new podcast player because YouTube Music ain't it, man. Which, by the way, you can listen to us on YouTube Music if you'd like. We are on there.
We're there.
So those are my 3 grievances.
You know, back to the Walmart checkout thing.
Yeah.
You know, I saw a thing that said every time I check out at Walmart, I do self-checkout, I steal something because I wasn't properly trained to do this job. You know, it's just,
That's awesome.
I mean, it's not, don't do that. But it's funny when you think about it. You're like, well, hey, you never trained me to do this. I didn't know that I had to scan a barcode for this.
Or maybe I
don't
thought I
work,
did.
or I don't work for free. So I'm going to take an energy drink, right? I don't work for free.
That actually is a fantastic one. I don't work for free.
Yeah, I don't work for free.
I
So
freaking love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I gotta say, like, the whole, when we started doing everything to, self-checkout and crap like that, first off, it's turned out to be a horrible move. It's proven to be a very big loss leader, basically meaning we're getting robbed left and right. Yeah, because guess what? You left it all up to us.
Well, and I feel like you could literally like everything you have in your thing, you hold like a gum wrapper, a gum thing right here, and as you go through, you just scan the gum and put the other thing in, scan the gum and put the other thing in, and you're like, dude, before you know, you've got a whole basket and you spent $12, but you've got $200 worth of food because all it says you've got is 17 things of gum.
You know what we're gonna call that? That's an inflation meter right there.
That's right.
That's what that is. That's
Learned it right here. Don't do it. You will go to jail. Just for the record, don't do it. But that's what I'm saying. It just that you know what's sad is though is they've made it so much so that they don't have you have to go do it because I don't want to wait in line.
Dude, you've been to that Queen Creek Walmart?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a there's not a single one. There's not a single lane where you can actually go for someone to do the checkout.
No, there's a few.
Are there?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've seen 2 massive sections that are just.
There are 2 massive ones, and right in the middle there are a few. But again, those lines get long, and I'm like, no. You know, like, and then now you've got like Safeway, right? You go in on a Safeway and you've got one register open and the rest are those other things. And then I was in there on Easter getting breakfast stuff, right? Dude, you got 2 kids bagging one person stuff.
What?
I'm like, and then they're jaw jacking and I've got this blinking light because it says I need help over here.
Which I don't.
And I'm like, no, I did because I needed a coupon. I wasn't going to pay $5 when it was $1.79 with a digital coupon. I was like, that's a good savings. So I'm looking for somebody. And I'm like, hey, so I yell over. I'm like, hey, you 2 bagging one person's things. Can I get some help? Well, there should be somebody over there. Do you think I would come over and say I need help if there was somebody standing here? Like, dude, these kids. But that's what they've done is now you just got to do it yourself. It is easier. It's convenient. I love just going in and doing it and getting out, especially when there's no line.
Okay, now listen, if it's 10 items or less, I get it.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I agree.
But when I'm actually doing my shopping for the week or the 2 weeks, I'm not doing that myself because it's so much freaking crap I got to.
Yeah, and the bagging and like.
And I don't know that, but I'm also going to be asked a couple of times, did you enter this right? Did you put the right weight on there? Oh, it's going to happen.
Yeah. And
the person that does it, who's literally, this is their job, that's what they should be doing, right?
Yeah, where they hit the little button and it's become too much.
How many times when you're scanning something and then it says, associate need or something like that, and I'm just scanning help? Because there's 30
the light blinking. Yeah, yes. The light blinking. You're like, hey.
Can't stand it.
Yeah, it drives me nuts.
Self-checkout is cool for, like I said, for
10 items or less.
10 items
that's
less.
A good way.
Yeah. Back in the day, it was fine for 10 items less. But now we've gotten to a point.
They had this thing at our Walmart, and the one by my house, where it was when you came in, you grabbed up a cart, and it had a scanner on it. And basically, you went as you picked up
and
things.
As you put stuff in the cart?
Yep. You scanned stuff as you went in, and then you paid for it. You tapped, and it was gone. It was like a scan and go thing like Sam's Club has with your phone, but it was in Walmart. I loved it. I'm like, dude, because that would make me want to buy reusable bags and then load my cart up and then look, deep, just put them in as you go, and then you walk right out the store. Yeah, no big deal. Huh? But that was like a test trial thing, and it never came back. And this was probably a few years ago.
I can say one of the reasons why I think they'll probably not take off is because how many times have you ever put something in your cart and be like, actually, no, I'm already done.
But it was all on the screen. You just take it off.
Oh, so how easy was it to take things off?
That's what I'm saying. It was all right there. It was like holding a portable, like a phone, but with a scanner on the end, so you could just see what you'd scan. It was no big deal. I guess I don't know what happened to it.
But basically, what we're coming to is screw you, Walmart.
Yeah, screw Walmart.
I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah, doesn't mean I'm not going because you've kind of cornered the market. But Target sucks.
Yeah, but screw you guys.
Target allows anybody in any bathroom, so I kind of don't go there because honestly, I'm afraid.
Like when it comes to places like that, like Walmart's better than them all anyway.
Like,
I don't care what anybody says about Target. It's not better.
I don't like it. No, I don't like it at all. It's stupid.
It's a reputation only. But I'll also say this: Walmart sucks too. But guess what? So does Amazon. Don't mean I get a shop there.
Oh, I love Amazon.
Well, yeah, but you know what you are supporting, right? But at the same time, it's like, listen, if I can find it cheaper on Amazon, I don't care. I'm going to buy it there, right? That's just what's going to happen. I will say one of the things that drives me nuts though is this happened to me yesterday. I had to go and get an expandable hard drive for my server at the office. It drives me nuts, and I had to go to 2 different Best Buys. It drives me nuts now because online shopping is such a big thing. There is nowhere to go to get the things you need right now. I need this right now. No. Where do I go? Where do I get this?
Amazon will get it to you between 5 and 9.
Yes, exactly. So it's like, I don't know.
For $2.99.
If it's something I can buy on Amazon, that's what I do. But yesterday I needed it, so I go to 2 different Best Buys. They didn't have one.
And I'm surprised Best Buys are still around.
I know, right?
Like they're kind of a dying thing. Remember when you used to wait out like in the middle of the night for Black Friday and you would be out?
That's actually funny because one of the things that my buddy said that we should have done and that didn't live up to the hype draft was Black Friday. And
oh, really?
I totally agreed. I've done it one time and like, this is not
So
worth it.
I can
Not
tell
worth it.
you, having done it pre-COVID and after, it's completely different. And the Black Friday, now Gray Thursday thing, stupid.
So dumb.
Like, it's messed up for the families of like on Thanksgiving, right? You're pulling your people away for these deals.
All the retail workers.
But dude, pre-COVID, bro, it was so much fun getting up at like 3 a.m. And because you know what it was fun? It wasn't waiting in like, okay, so I was waiting in line. I was behind the Target. They had a 2 terabyte hard drive. Right?
Okay.
I'm
Back
like,
in the day was like, couldn't believe you never need that much space.
who is going to be in line for one of these, right? The guy in front of me is in line for one of these. But like people would show up with like extra coffees and it was like cold one morning and it was raining and they had coffees and you'd meet people. It was fun back then. And then COVID hit and it became this Gray Thursday and all this crap. And I'm like, no, now it's definitely not up to the hype.
The thing that really pushed me off of it, and I thought, okay, this is where it's jumped the chart for me, is once it was like, hey, we open up at 6 p.m. on Thursday.
Yeah, that's where
that was where I'm like, you know what, screw you guys.
Yeah.
Screw all of your retail companies. Like, listen, Thanksgiving it's not a religious holiday. This is a national holiday that we all just sit and stuff our faces and then we chill, right?
Yeah.
No, but instead you're turning it into something where not, like I said, the retail workers, they got to eat, Thanksgiving breakfast.
Right, and then they don't get to spend time with their family.
And they don't get to spend
You take away from the entire thing. Like you can, starting at 5 a.m. on Friday was not a big deal. Nobody cared. And Walmart, talk about dumb, right? They would stay open 24 hours. So what they would do is they would wrap all the Black Friday stuff in black, like trash bag plastic. Well, what do you think most people did?
Rip it open,
get what they wanted, and then they waited in line until the Black Friday time. They would just sit in the store. And I'm like, Walmart, why would you not just close your doors?
Well, they do now since COVID.
Well, I know. Now, actually, I think they have, like, I don't think they're open 24 hours anymore.
No, they're not. They close the doors
that's
now.
crazy.
Yeah.
I just learned that the other day. I'm like, wait a minute. At 1 a.m., if I need toothpaste, I can't go get it from Walmart?
I gotta go to Circle K.
I can't get rotisserie chicken from Walmart at 1 o'clock?
No, that was actually something when I found that out. It was like, wait a minute, whoa. They're not 24 hours anymore? That was really like, oh, I didn't know that. That was like
I know you can't go in one door after a certain point, but it's completely shut. They're like, yeah, you can't go in no more. I'm like, wow.
That was news to me as well. But yeah, like I said, dude, that was when you said Black Friday. That was one of the trigger for me because it did not live up to the hype at all for me.
Yeah, which
one time
it makes sense.
But you're right about it. There was the fun aspect of waiting. That was the fun part. We're like, hey, this is kind of cool. Like, what are we gonna get? I wasn't going for anything other than just to experience it.
There was a few times where we were in line and I'm like, what are we getting? I'm like, we don't know. We'll look at the ads and we'll see if we want something. So that hard drive, right? So him and I go in. He goes one way, I go another. He makes it there before me. I see my line and he grabs the last one. Okay. I'm like, hey, bro, it's cool. Thanks. It was cool. Whatever. I walk away. I go by. I think we were getting a PlayStation, something, whatever, for the kids. Dude, that guy finds me in the store 20 minutes later and is like, hey, there was another one. And I grabbed it for you, and I've been looking for you. I'm like, bro, this is what the holidays is about, bro. Like, I mean, I still own the hard drive. We still use it right now.
That's awesome.
This was 10, 15 years ago.
I love that. That's some good stuff, dude. I love hearing things like that. Like you said, the fun part of it was that. To me, like the thing that drives me nuts is like we spend the whole day on Thanksgiving talking about how the things we're going to report. But then we're just going to go
and then go ahead.
And then just absolutely consume the crap out of it.
And there are people that are willing to go to jail over a TV. Like
so
they will
dumb.
fight you for a TV. Like you see these people on these malls and they're breaking down stuff. You're like,
oh, dude, it was like
oh my
I want to
gosh.
say like 8 years ago when it hit its boiling point, where it was literally turning into riots.
Yeah, it was like a riot over a TCL TV for $250. Listen, or what's the other one that starts with a W?
Westinghouse.
Yeah, Westinghouse TV. Listen.
No, you're 100% right, dude. It just always felt just kind of like weird to me. But yeah, it definitely really loved the hype for me.
No, I agree.
All right, so I got one thing I wanted to follow up on that I wanted to say when we talked about high school curriculum and how we have an issue with high school curriculum and that we don't train kids for the real world. I started to think about it. I thought, how much of that is on the high school? How much of that is on us parents?
Well, the high school has them a lot of the time during the day, and I feel like we as parents have a responsibility. We're not excused from that, but I feel like there is like a lot of window of opportunity to teach a child in like, okay, my 16-year-old, she should be learning about balancing a checkbook, what credit card interest really does,
and
how it can bury you, and how making a minimum payment will take you 15 years to pay off something if you don't add to it, stuff like that. But she's not learning any of that. They're too worried about learning why X equals Z, and it's and there's a time and place for that. But everybody needs to know taxes. Everybody needs to know how to balance a checkbook. Everybody should know, because what happens when you turn 18? They send you a credit card, and the people immediately, you think, I've got $1,000 I could just put on this card and I'll just pay it back slowly. It's fine. It's good to go. And that $1,000 now becomes, $5-6 grand when you pay it off, because, or as you keep adding and extending your credit line. It's just that, but they don't teach these kids that because the government doesn't want them to know, because the government's banking off all this.
Well, some of it I think is also because kids aren't going to take the class.
But you make it a mandatory. That's what, but we're failing.
I do think that maybe like a basic finance class would be necessary. But the thing is the reason why I'm not saying that you learn that in math class. You learn about compounding interest. Those are lessons that are taught to you. Now, you're not going to learn the tax code. One of the reasons why you're not going to learn this is because guess what changes with every new administration?
Right, the tax
code. And every
code.
2 years.
I get it.
So they're not going to teach that in high school, because the high school teacher can pick up on that. Crap, dude. How many accountants actually know all that?
I don't even get it. I hate taxes. I want nothing to do with them.
Freaking worst.
A flat tax sounds good, but then you really break it down. How do business owners pay a flat? It's just, you can't. Like, there's really no easy answer.
No. There is an easy way. Do you remember the dude that ran the Godfather's Pizza, ran for president in Herman Cain?
No.
His whole thing was 999. 9%, 9%, 9%. Flat tax for everything. And his whole thing was basically just like, we can afford this if everything is a flat 9% tax.
Well, the question is...
We're not going to go down this road.
No, but the question is, what do you, in the sense of, if you are a business owner and you've made $4.3 million, right? But after you've paid all your employees... No write-offs.
No write-offs. So it's 9%. There's no write-offs. There's no outs. It's 9%. That was his thing.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
So that's why the whole flat tax thing was like, oh, you can never do it. Because a lot of people say that it can't work. Okay, well, I'm not an accountant.
Who knows?
But the whole point I was trying to make is like, when it comes to preparing children for real life, I mean, we do put a lot of pressure on teachers in high schools to do it. But things like that, where I thought, like, well, how many? I mean, I couldn't teach my kid trigonometry. I couldn't teach my kid algebra 2.
Ugh.
I mean, I could sit down in a class and I could do it, right? I can do that. But I couldn't teach my kid that. That's something that a teacher does.
Oh,
can I
for sure.
teach my kid how to form a budget and live off a budget? I can do that.
Here's the
I
thing.
have to
What
do
if
that.
you as a parent don't know how?
Well,
how are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, where do they? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's where you're going to get generational poorness the whole time, right?
But that's also the thing where I'm saying, it's like, how much pressure do we need to be putting on the school to do that versus how much pressure should we be putting on the home, the parents? Because one of a famous, I'll say, saying in the Latter-day Saints, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, is that no success in business can ever compensate for failure in the home. And that goes in lots of ways. Like, if you are more concerned about whatever's going on outside of your house than you are about what's going on inside your house, doesn't matter how successful you are in it if you fail in taking care of your family.
Right.
And that goes in a lot of ways. And so I'm not saying that I'm right here when it comes to should we be putting more pressure on families to prepare children for outside of the, outside of high school. Because obviously we go to school to learn these things. But I don't know, I was kind of thinking about it because my parents taught me and their parents taught them. And I don't know, I kind of think that we might give parents too much of a pass.
My parents had no clue.
And
that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
That's the other. Whereas everybody goes to school in the sense that everybody has a chance to learn it. Whereas at home, you may not get the chance because your parents may not be very good at it. And your grandparents probably weren't very good at it.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? So maybe you don't, yes, it's not all on the school, but the school's an equal playing field for everybody because we all have to go to school.
So if your parents had no idea, how did you get that?
Bro, I literally have just had to work for it. Like, I've had to figure it out, right? Like, you've got to understand stuff. And the problem is you have to make a decision to be different. You can't keep, because it's very easy. It would have been very easy for me to become a hardcore alcoholic and live in a trailer park and just go that route, right? Yeah. It would have been really easy. But I didn't want to. As soon as I turned 18, I moved out, and, things have changed dramatically with my parents. But after I left, they got a lot better about things, but things were different. So I could have easily done it. I just, for some reason, chose not to. I wanted to be different. And yes, it's been difficult at times. I've had to learn how to do stuff enough more than once, right? But I guess if you don't make a conscious effort, if you don't really try, it makes it really hard. Whereas I think in school, right? Like I said, schools, everybody's got to go. If they would have taught me how to balance a checkbook and understand that, okay, look, what your interest is. I know you learned about compounding interest, but you don't really learn about what it really means with a credit card.
Yeah,
Yeah. I can learn a formula on compounding interest, understand how it works, but it doesn't understand when you're swiping a credit card that's plastic and you don't see the money and you feel like you're on top of the world.
No, I'll tell you that. That was when I remember when I got my debit card.
See?
And I didn't get a credit card. I remember when I got a debit card, I was like, it was so much easier to spend hundreds of dollars without recognizing how much money
Yeah, and now you just tap your watch.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. It's just numbers.
Yeah, it's who cares? I don't even. It doesn't even.
I didn't give him any money.
Overdraft protection. You know?
Right. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying that it's the way that we need to go because, like you said, you have a good point there that we all go to school.
Yeah.
Right. At least we all should.
Yeah.
And so we all have that in common where we're like, hey, we're in an educational place, and I do think that maybe we should have a required class like that. But I also say this: how many people take high school? Not many.
No, but I mean, if you're learning math, you're going to learn anyway. At least you can't default on the fact that you weren't given the opportunity to know.
Yeah, and that's true. There's definitely some truth in that. All right, y'all. So that's it for now. Right now, we're watching the Suns close out. They're about to win this game against the Cavaliers, and they have to keep on winning. There's about 2 minutes left?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and it would take a catastrophic collapse. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this up and call it a night. We're not going to be releasing this for another couple days because our boy JJ is lucky and he is going to be at the Final Four.
That's right.
Dude, he's going to be
I'm going to a Suns game. And I'm going to the national championship game.
Dude, he is going to be seeing some basketball.
Lots of basketball, that's for sure.
That's pretty cool, man.
That'll be fun.
That is pretty cool. So this guy's lucky enough he gets to go do that. So I will be watching it from my comfortable couch in my home with my own drinks.
Yes.
My own food. That's one of the things that's hard about live sporting events for me. I obviously love sports. I'll go to baseball games because they're so chill. But any other sporting event, it's hard for me to sit and think that it's going to be better than if I were to just stay home.
Well, because the food, $20 for a hot dog.
Yeah, no parking.
No parking. You gotta walk. Traffic's the worst. Yeah, it sucks. Traffic is so bad. I hate it.
Yeah, but I will say that's the one thing that's different. When I take you to some Diamondbacks games this season, you'll see it.
No traffic because there's nobody in the stands. Just kidding.
No, what's crazy is one of the things that's hard is that there are a lot of people that go to the games. But it's such a huge baseball stadium. Baseball stadiums are not that big. They don't have that many seats in baseball stadiums, right? But because the Diamondbacks have such a massive stadium that has this huge capacity, if they only fill half, that's still 24,000 people.
That's crazy.
That's
for a baseball stadium?
For a baseball stadium. And so one of the reasons for that is where I park is super far away.
Oh.
Like I shouldn't say super far away. It's close to the stadium, but it's on the east side. Nobody parks on the east side. And the entrance that I have is because of the season ticket holder. It's an entrance that not many people, I didn't even know existed until my buddy showed it to me. So it's fun. But anyway, all right, man. So got anything else you want to say?
Yeah, like fat kids in dodgeball. We're out.
Stay fresh, juice bags.
The JJ and Pug Show theme song was written, composed, and performed by Lane Hartman. Special thanks to Highland Communities for all the support given to our show. You can find the JJ and Pug Show podcast wherever you do listen to podcasts. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Remember to share the show with your friends and family and subscribe wherever you do listen. If you're able to, please feel free to support us by sending a donation to us by going to ko-fi.com/the JJ and Pug Show. That is ko-fi.com/the JJ and Pug Show. Again, thank you so much, everybody, for all the support, whether that is by simply listening, whether that is sharing it with a friend, or giving us that sweet, sweet cash. We truly appreciate it all. Thank you so much.